Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. Han Cholo said, do you still owe on your taxes? Gee, Han Cholo, a little forward of you to come on my stream and just ask me a personal question like that. All right, let me answer your question with a question. How much alimony do you owe? Right? How are those how are you doing on your child support payments right now? What a stupid thing to say. Wrigley says, it's bold of you to assume your detractors aren't incels and would even have kids to owe alimony to. Or that's the point I was making. Oh, you didn't get that? No, that was the point I was making. You see, he's trying to ask personal questions about, do I owe taxes? So I hit him with a question of, hey, do you really have a life? Because if you did, maybe you would actually have these things. But he doesn't. So, notice he shut the fuck up after that, too. Of course. Yes, Rich, I know my state has problems with crime and drugs and all kinds of stuff, but I don't want to get political on the show today. Not too political of a stream here. I'm shying away from that stuff again because it didn't really do much for me, did he? So, let's see. Do you think goals? Well, first of all, this person says tip goals, but I don't think that that's accurate. I don't have a tips goal. They're saying, do you think tip goals are an inaccurate measurement of how much viewers enjoy a game? Personally, I thought Taxi Life is a breath of fresh air and fun to watch. It would be a shame for games to be incorrectly overlooked. I've already said this before, all right? I feel like there's two layers to the way that I get support, okay? Layer number one is the game I'm playing. There are particular games that certain people will show up just for that game, and they will support a stream just because I'm experiencing or playing a certain game. That 100% definitely happens, especially for bigger games, or sometimes it happens for retro games that people really want to see me play. I'll give you an example of that. Suikoden 1 HD. I told everyone I really wanted to play that game because it's from my youth. I played it in the 90s. I loved it, and I was dying to play the collection, but I was very skeptical if it would work as a lengthy playthrough. I would need people to buy in, and they did. People said, we want to see you play this. We will specifically show up for the Suikoden streams and support them, and the entire playthrough, I hit support goals just because I was playing that game. Okay? That's one angle. The other half of the equation is there are people who just like me and my content. A lot of these people are actually not stream viewers, but they watch the on-demand videos, okay? They show up when they can. They support when they can. But that's not always. You know what I mean? Like, they can be here sometimes, but not all the time. So these people might just show up on any random stream and support the content. Sometimes they're just dropping a tip. They don't even talk about the game. There's, hey, here you go. Here's support, right? So it's kind of two factors there, right? Now, in general, when I play a game, if there's a lot of support for the stream, it usually means that people are really enjoying that content and want to see more of it. It's not always the case. Sometimes there's been well-supported playthroughs, but actually they don't get a lot of views. What that means is that there's a very small amount of people, but they really want to see it, and they're willing to finance it, essentially. And that's cool, too. But I understand what you're saying. Last night, here I am, I'm playing Taxi Life. It's actually really different, like completely different from when I played the truck driving game, because the truck driving simulator, I can chill and relax, put it on cruise control, and just sit here and read and talk with you guys and interact the whole time, right? Like, really, there's like very little time I have to pay attention to the rules of the road. It's just driving on the highway. When I'm playing Taxi Life, I have to be paying attention the entire time. There's pedestrians jumping out in the middle of the street. There's cars pulling in and out. There's things in your way constantly. The lights are changing. There's a lot of stuff, hectic stuff you got to pay attention to. So it's a completely different kind of driving experience, and it was fun. It was, like I told everyone, I had a great time on that stream last night. Time flew. Like, I felt like that stream passed in a moment because we were so into it, and adrenaline gets up when you're driving and everything, right? But if you didn't notice, we had some support at the very beginning of the stream, and we had support 1 hour in, and then we had no support for the entire rest of the stream, and we ended the stream at $90 of support. Now you might say, well, that's not bad. You're right. $90 is not bad. That's not a failure stream by any means. The goal is 150. Well, guess what? We did hit the goal. Are you aware of this? As I was taking the stream offline, there was a sub bomb of 12 subs. And that pushed us over because we were around $90. So it pushed us to the 150. So we actually did hit the goal. And that person actually said that they had been trying to support earlier in the week. Like, remember the Minecraft stream that I did this week that didn't hit the goal? They said they actually had tried to contribute at the end of that stream to hit the goal, and they were getting declined. Like, it was getting pushed back and declined. So they couldn't do it then, but they finally got it to work last night. Okay? So, I understand what you're saying. The level of support that we get for a particular game or a particular stream doesn't always represent how much people like a game. I will tell you this, last night, people were absolutely engaged with that stream. We were laughing, we were talking, we were enjoying each other's company, but they were enjoying the stress of the gameplay. Like, it clicked. People seem to really like that content, and I'm down for that. You know what I mean? Like, I want content people are enjoying. But the real question is, why did we not hit a support goal then during the gameplay of the stream? Is it just that by random chance enough people couldn't show up to hit the goal? Is it because, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's random. It really is random. It could be any explanation. Who knows, right? But in general, I'm not going to make a determination on a game unless one of two things happens. Number one, if literally the chat and everyone is bored with the game, then I get it. I'm probably not going to play it again. But also, if it's multiple streams, all right, where we're not doing good and we're not hitting the goal, then I'll be like, all right, it's time to pack it up. With Taxi Life, we're going to play it again. First of all, we did hit the goal. We just hit it later. But even if we hadn't hit the goal and we had ended around $90, I still would play it again one more time, give it a shot, and hopefully it would do better that second time. It seemed like it did resonate. People who were watching it after the fact also seem to be enjoying it on demand. So that says something, you know what I mean? So if people are really enjoying it, then good, right? Let's keep it going. So don't worry there, but I have noticed, for example, I'll give you another example, Cast and Chill. I really enjoyed Cast and Chill earlier this week. The audience did not. In general, the people were complaining. They were saying it was boring. They didn't like it. I'm like, I don't get it, because you guys liked Bassmaster 3 years ago, and it's the same exact kind of game, just the graphics are different. But people just didn't like Cast and Chill. So in that case, that's what I'm not going to go back to, okay? But in the case of Taxi Life, I think we will continue with it and see how it does. And hopefully, very much hopefully, I hope that it will pick up and do better next time. We'll see. Got a $1.50 tip. It's probably Beaver Bother. It's Beaver Bother. It's got to be, because he always tips $1.50. Yeah. So thanks, Beaver Bother, for $1.50. Time to ignore you again. I love it. Dude, I love it. All right. Sorry, Beaver Bother. Can't be bothered by your beaver today. Bill Colonel wants advice starting up streaming. Same advice I've given over the years, hasn't changed. If you're going to go into content creation for yourself, select the topic that you love, you know a lot about, and that if you are going to invest time in it, you will feel like you're having fun. So, for example, if you're going to do video essays on a topic that you absolutely love and have passion for, because here's why. If you're streaming or you're making a video essay or doing whatever, you're putting a lot of time and effort into it. If you truly love the subject matter of what you're doing and you love the content you're making, it doesn't matter if you get 2 viewers or 2,000 or 2 million, you're going to still enjoy the time you spent on it. Ultimately, people want to see people enjoying what they're doing, not grinding through to try to make it big or make a living. They want to see people have fun, right? And if you're truly enjoying what you're doing, people will see that true authenticity come through. It will resonate with them, and hopefully that will translate into views, into support, and into reciprocation of the joy for whatever the topic is. But there's a lot of people out there who go into it with the mentality, well, I've seen this content creator make it big, making this kind of content. I'm going to try to emulate what they've done. And here's my business plan for doing it. And here's all the money I'm investing in it. And here we go. Grind, 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 grind. And then 6 months later, they lost all their time and money and they wonder why it didn't work. Well, do you even like what you're doing? Or did you go into it like this is your, you're just doing it because you want to make a paycheck? I don't agree with that at all. You know, I made content for 2 years and never monetized any of it at all. It wasn't until April of 2010. Excuse me, I take that back. I completely screwed up the timeline. It was 2.5 years. It was April of 2011 that I actually started monetizing content when I joined a partnership network with Machinima on YouTube. Before then, it was 2.5 years of nearly full-time grinding, putting out content that I had passion for gaming before I even thought that I would make a buck doing it. I already had that passionate viewer base built before I said, oh, maybe I can turn this into a profitable business, you see? So there you go. That's my recommendation. Do it for the passion of it. Do it for the love of it. If you truly come through as someone who's authentic, hopefully that will resonate with an audience, and then maybe you can get that buy-in. There you go. What's up, Game Boy? Good morning, and how are you doing? $2. $2 tip. You didn't elaborate earlier. The fishing game dev contacted you with DLC. No, after I played Cast and Chill, I got an email from, I don't know if it was actually the game developer or a promo company, whoever it is, right, who's trying to get this game attention. And they contacted me and said, hey, thanks for playing our game. Here's a DLC for 2 dogs, 2 different dog companions. And I was like, oh, that's great, but sad. I'm not playing it again. You know, it didn't resonate with the audience, so I'm not going to play it again. Personally, I think the game is great, and I would play it to relax myself. It is such a chill game, which is the whole point of Cast and Chill. I think it's exceptionally good. Well, Wrigley, I thank you for that, and I appreciate that statement. He basically says, I can understand why from some people's point of view, they take issue with you one way or the other, but when you're giving heartfelt advice to guide someone and try to make sure they find happiness, that is lauded, even if others disagree with your takes on other things. I'm not a malicious dude. I don't wish anyone harm. I don't wish that anyone crashes and burns. Not even my most, people who hate me the most, or I should rephrase that. Not people who hate me the most. People who actually actively try to hurt me, defame me, and make sure that they benefit by stepping on me the most. I don't wish them ill either. I've said this before. I feel like if everyone out there was truly happy, had good things going on in their life, positive things, right? They had friends, they had family, had a significant other, they had a job that they loved, they were financially stable, they were healthy. If all those things were true, they wouldn't need to bring down others. They wouldn't need to look at others and say, let me make that guy look bad so that I feel good about myself, because they'll already feel good about themselves. You see? Right now, I could literally lash out at all these people who do toxic things to me every day. But why? I'm happy. I don't need to do that. I'm good. I can just focus on me and my positive stuff. And if they were in that life situation, they would probably do that too. And that's the difference here, is that, I don't wish anyone ill will. If everyone was successful, then no one would need to be bringing down others, That's my take anyway. Got another $2. A lot of $2 tips this morning. Was there ever a point in your career where you lost your passion for a second, or a point where it became all work, no play, grind, grind, grind? Yeah, I already spoke about this. There were basically 2 times, okay? The first time was, I would say, around, let's say 2013. So I'd been doing the on-demand videos only. No streaming, no direct capture, just these on-demand videos with a camera pointed at my TV. I've been doing them for over 5 years. And at that point, I liked what I was doing, but people were tired of it. They basically called me a dinosaur. They said, you're not innovating, you're not changing with the times. All content is changing, you're not. You have to change for the better. So at that point, I kind of felt burnt out, because I felt like I was spinning my wheels. Like I was making tons of content, but rather than people laughing with me, they started to laugh at me. Things like, this is how you don't play and stuff started coming out. And it frustrated me, because I felt like I was busting my balls putting out content and people just didn't like it anymore, but I didn't change. Society did. The internet did, right? So then I became someone who live streamed into direct capture, and I kept pushing forward with this. But around 2016, okay, at that point, I felt like I really was burned out. Like, I didn't want to just be sitting around playing games all day, every day. I was tired of just doing that. Keep in mind, at that point, I still was not an interactive streamer. I was streaming, but I wasn't talking with the audience like we're doing right now. I ignored the audience and I pretended like I was in a room by myself, just playing this video game as if it were the old days of YouTube, on-demand commentary. So in 2016, the bubble kind of burst for me because I had false copyright strikes against my channel that hurt it. I had all this crap going on. And that was the year when I said, well, let me try something different. I had a whole new channel called KO Gaming, and I started doing edited content. So we're talking highly edited reviews, countdowns, video essays on topics, etc. The channel did very well. I had a 1 million view video. The channel went viral once. It got me tons of money. Like, no lie, on 1 month, that channel made me like $5,000, $6,000 on like 2 videos. Okay. Then during that year, it got a little bit more busy for games. So I stopped making as much content for the channel, and then YouTube demonetized it for no reason. So imagine you're burned out on doing all gameplay. You do something different. It's working. You take a short break from it to focus back on games a bit. And then YouTube just takes all of it away from you, just pulls the rug out from under you and says, oh, too bad, no monetization for you, with no justification for it whatsoever. In reality, it was just their automated systems don't work. And they turned on a stupid AI that said, oh, your channel's like red flagged, you can't get ads. So all that worked for nothing. Then I was really burned out because I was like, now I don't even know what I want to do anymore because the on-demand videos aren't working. Well, I should say the on-demand gameplay is not working, and the edited content has been stolen from me, essentially. So what do? So that was the year 2017. I became a fully interactive streamer, 100% interactive streamer like I'm doing right now. Talking with you constantly, social interactions, answering questions, going back and forth with discussion. And when I did that, it clicked. It was like, it's an epiphany. I should have been doing this since day one. I like interacting with the audience. I like having fun, talking and hanging out while we're also doing things like playing the games or whatever. We could do all these different things. And since then, the content, I feel, has just been way more natural, way more fun to make. And I have not felt burnt out at all since I became an interactive streamer. Every day I'm excited to come to stream and hang out with all you guys. So Parasolo, 49 months as a member. Happy Midsummer Eve from Sweden. Thank you so much, Parasolo, for the ongoing support. We're going to start gameplay momentarily, but I have a couple more shout outs to do here. I have an $11 tip from Shinkin25. Let's play your animation first and see what they have to say. Okay, here we go. I just didn't want to forget to do it. I really hope you play all 6 Final Fantasy pixel remasters in the future. You're good at those types of games. You're currently playing too many sim games. They're bad games to stream. Why'd you buy a $300 driving wheel instead of saving to fix various plumbing issues in your home? What? That was a mouthful, was it not? First off, I do want to play the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. I actually own them all on PlayStation, but I may just rebuy them on PC just for ease of playing. We've done 5, okay? We haven't done any of the others. I would love to replay 4 or 6 in the Pixel remaster to see the improvements and things. The music remix would be pretty awesome, I feel. So those may be coming. The only thing is this year we're not doing it because the Suikoden collection came out. So we already did Suikoden 1. We're probably going to do Suikoden 2. And then that's probably it for the year. Maybe next year we'll jump into the Pixel remasters, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, why did I spend a $300 on a racing wheel when I have plumbing issues in my house? First of all, why do you care about the plumbing issues in my house? What are you talking about? Sounds a little weird. You know, you would even bring that up. Do I have some plumbing issues? Yeah, I have a bathroom that the shower's busted, and it's been so for years, but I have another bathroom with a working shower. So if I can spend $300 on a peripheral that we're now playing all kinds of new games that are bringing people to streams, getting people engaged, getting people to support the content, seeing that I'm reinvesting in my content actively with the support I'm getting, why is that a bad thing? What makes more sense, to spend $300 on getting that wheel and having a whole bunch of new content, or to sit here and save money for a year and then maybe fix my shower, which doesn't affect the business? In reality, $300 is nothing. It's a drop in a lake when you're trying to save up for home improvements. You know what I mean? Like, for me, that's going to be something that's a huge investment. It has nothing to do with spending $300 to buy a wheel. So anyway, let's see. One final tip here, it looks like. I don't even know who these people are. It's funny. So first of all, this person tips a buck, says, it sounds like all your peers had their moment in the sun. Then he says, Wings, Boogie, Keem, Dreamcast guy, etc. What makes you think they're my peers? What are you talking about? Anyway, and then he says, sounds like people always have their knee on your neck constantly. Well, they do, because they benefit from being bad to me, right? And the truth is, if no one benefited from being bad to me, no one would ever mention me. Or I would occasionally be mentioned in a positive light. But people have seen distinctly that there is a group of thousands of people on the internet that are mentally deranged that like to see DSP have pain. So the more that they try to bring me down, it benefits them. They literally make big bucks on it. That's the only reason. The big bucks coming from it is where they profit. Now, others, for example, you might say someone like Boogie, right? Boogie benefits from being downtrodden. He does. He's found a way to bank on, hey, I'm the victim. I'll do this self-deprecation stuff, but I'll make money doing it. So you know what? If that's what he wants to do with his life, more power to him. But I actually want to make positive content. I want to make stuff that's useful for an audience that they can enjoy and learn and have a good time with me, have a good laugh with me. I don't just want to, hey, I'm just going to hit myself in the face with pies today. I'm going to drink piss out of bottles. You know, there's nothing wrong with that if you want to do it, but that's just not who I am. I'd much rather make stuff that is meaningful rather than a cheap laugh just to make a buck. You understand? But I don't know why you would think they're my peers. They're not. I'm going to say this. I've said it many times and I'll say it again. I am a man alone on an island doing things his way. It's been like that since day one, and it will be like that till the day that I decide to stop making content. I've always been an individual, an innovator, and someone who sticks to his guns and does things differently. And everyone out there claims that's the wrong way to do it. You should follow this path or that path or this. Because I decide to go down my own path, everyone has issue with me. But here I am, still making content, still having fun, still profitable, still successful, and there's nothing they can do about it. Maybe the reason so many people have issue with me doing my own path is because they're pissed that I did it that way and I can be successful while so many others are failing and then have to go into those beaten paths of drama, hating on people, shilling, selling out, product placement. I don't have to do any of that. And I'm still here and I'm still doing good. And they're angry. Oh, well, sometimes reality pisses you off, but that's still reality. Alrighty then. All right, are we ready to get started? It is now time for Lies of P, my friends. All right, so guys, if you are here to enjoy Lies of P, welcome, welcome. It's time for some gameplay and some fun and progress, and hopefully we will make good progress today. It's been a great playthrough so far. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys are liking it. Please support the stream. It's all gameplay from here on in. All right, that's it. There's no other, we can talk and interact. That's fine. But it is a focus on gameplay today. Like I said, no formal podcast, which is why we're starting, right now. And we're doing well. We're at 25 out of 30 goals hit. When we hit 30 goals, I'm going to try this new Takis menu at Wendy's, which seems like the great choice. I guess some people today tried it because it launched in the United States today, and they're saying it's hilarious to see people try it. There's like varying opinions on this menu. So the sooner we hit 30 goals, the better. All right. We got a little bit of a head start with like 24 bucks. Let's get going. Please, let's get some momentum on this stream. Let's hit that goal of 150 bucks and keep it moving. All right. Good stuff.
got the drip going. I 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 got the drip going. It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is, it's dumb kids.